Hey, I'm Craig, and this is the Metal Mushroom. I am back to working on the speeder bike, as we can see. This is where we kind of left off last time. Majority of the body work is done. The engine's been added. I'm not sure this larger U pipe. I think I added in between. There's a tank underneath the back here that was added since the last video. Those are kind of permanently attached. So for this video, we're going to work on the accessories, the pipes that comes out of the engines and go into the back here, out of these nubs on the sides. There's nubs on the back, and some of them just go into the body. There's three on this side. One comes out of this hole here, goes into the nub back here. Another one comes actually out of this pipe and just goes into the body. And then there's a third one that'll need another nub that's above the engine thing here that will come and just basically runs right underneath my leg and will come into the nose of it here. And then on the left side, there are two more that will get added. One of them is just kind of basic U-shaped. The other one twists up and over it. And then both of those go into the matching nubs on the other side. So we're going to do some heat bending with those. I am going to fill the PVC with sand so that it holds its shape better. And then we're going to use the heat gun to heat it up and get it bent. So once we get those pipes, we've also got there's a pipe down each side that is for the footrest. So the footrest will put my feet up here somewhere, I'm guessing. I'm going to get those pipes done. They've got a bend that comes out almost 90 and then comes up at an angle on the side here, runs in through these grooves, and then runs basically parallel along here. So we'll get those bent as well. All right. Okay, got the pipe bent. Tip this up so you can kind of see. So I got it bent back here to come off. It's attached to the screw into this plate that I put in. This is just Gorilla glued onto the rails, and then the screw, I reinforced it and ran a screw through it. So that comes up, and then I got it to here, and I put a piece of dowel up through it. You can see a little bit of the dowel sticking out here. And then I used that to keep this all straight while I heat bent this piece, just this little piece here, so that this came out more parallel with the body. But what I have unfortunately found is that where this is nice and attached here, and there's very little flex in this section here, as you can see when I push on it, so when my foot comes this direction, there's a lot of flex that goes into that. So I think I'm going to have to remake it. And we're either going to I tried cutting this in half here and putting wood dowel in between and reattaching, and it did not work. It lost too much strength in cutting it. So this is not going to work. What I think I can do is do the same dowel up here, but I'll have to put a piece of dowel in here first before I do this heat bend. So let me get that ready to go and we'll come back. Foot rail pipes bent, at least for the back bend back here. That comes out, and I played with the idea. I have a dowel core for it. I played with the idea of just leaving this, but I like the way it looks better with the angle, with the bend in it. So I am going to cut the dowel core down to a length so it'll come down to here, shove it in, and then heat bend this so that it comes out more parallel with this. So let's go get this cut. This bent, this is up and ready to go. I've got the dowel that's going to stiffen things up, cut to go into the two pieces, and just kind of so you can see, that is this pipe here. It's going to get a T on there to put the footrest itself on. It's kind of a from behind shot of it, so you can see it comes out of the back here, comes forward, but then there's definitely a secondary bend in there. Again, this is a blend of a model and screen, so it's just, nothing's going to be perfect. But and I couldn't, without actually using real metal, I couldn't get that side support as thin as it is here anyway. So we went with more of the model design on this. But yeah, we're going to get that bend put in. So once I put this piece up in, it's in. There's not going to be any getting it back. So I've got it measured pretty well, and I know how far this should go in. So I should be good to figure out how, the second piece, how far it should go in. So I should know when this has reached its optimal point. So let's get it put in. Shove, shove. All right. It's definitely at the line where it was before. So let's get this bent. There we go. It's movement. Slap a glove on. That straight there. It's pretty straight there. All right, we're gonna hold that for a minute. I don't have my alcohol that I would normally use to cool that. Try to get that. All right, once that cools, then do the same thing for the other side. Back after they're done. Both foot peg rests are now bent. So I added the bend in here. So I've got a dowel all the way through to there. He bent it there, and then another piece of dowel through there, and then that is attached with a screw into an anchor that's literally just Gorilla glued into the foam in between these two pieces of plywood. So, but the flex that we had before, we were probably getting a good easy quarter to half inch of deflection when I would push on the where the peg will be. And we're still getting a little bit, but it's way less than it was, and this feels a lot stiffer than it did before. So I think we're good there. Those are well anchored. We're going to move on to the pipes for the side. All right, got the pipes bent and attached on, and I think they look pretty good. Just as a comparison, we're gonna try to bring it in. All right, so it's these two pipes back here that I'm working on. You can see that the one kind of goes up and over, and I believe we've got that accomplished. So we've got that, we've got the foot peg pipe in and pretty solid. That looks great. Here's the problem. Once I started putting those pipes in, they started pulling on this engine enough that it's separating. So I kind of had a feeling I was going to have to solve that problem because right now it's just in with pins. Um, so when I say pins, I mean pieces of PVC that are through the wall of the bike. So I think what I'm going to do is try to come up with a way to do threaded PVC to thread the PVC so that I can kind of run it in and tighten it like a big oversized screw. See what I come up with. All right, I figured out a way to more permanently attach the engine pieces to the side. Like I had just plain pins running through the side here that went into this friction fit, nothing else. So what I've done is taken said PVC, heated it up with the heat gun, and then ran it into a threaded cap. So that gives me a positive grab like it's a big screw. Wait for that to cool, took it out. Once I had those made, two of those made, I then glued in the caps into this so that they were permanent, and then I made two just plywood washers that are big enough to take so that the cap hits on those, and then so they'll go through, hit that, and then that goes up against the wall so it doesn't put so much pressure right around that small area that might rip out. It should spread it out enough that it shouldn't rip out too easily. So then that can be tightened down, and I've got the length set so it's just shy so it does give tension through. So we get a nice positive grab. So let's put this in place. Back one here. Nice and tight. You can see now that it's not pulling off at all. Same thing for the front. There it is. This would be easier if I flipped it upside down. There we go. Front is tight. Now, when we put the pipes in, that's the one that's got the most tension on it. That one in, that one in. Now we've got that. And no more gap. So everything's pulled in pretty good and tight there. So, first side of pipes are done. Let's go to the second side. Okay, I've got this one pipe here in bent. This one was just a simple bend because it was a straight and then just bent into at a 90 into the body. And that will be this and this. So what's left is I've got to do another nub that sticks out the side up here at the top, and then that pipe will go to the front. Where that will be is roughly right there. And then this pipe is going to go in here and go in about there. So I believe there's enough pipe here to do this. It should be just a very hard bend that goes into here, and then kind of just however much it takes to get into there. If this isn't enough, I have a longer piece of pipe, but just to show where it's going. So let's get this shaped. So I glued this up earlier. It's just a couple of discs out of the foam. And
okay, the sanding got way too loud there, so I'm going to do a little voiceover on this strip. I'm getting the nub sanded from any marks left behind from doing the wire cutter, and getting the excess glue sanded off and shaped out so that it looks better, and get the corners rounded off so it again has a smoother appearance, and get it ready for getting the hole punched through.
okay, I'm getting this last pipe put in, so I'm going to kind of go through the whole process for this. I made this nub earlier, and I'm going to get it glued on, but to get it glued on, I want to get it lined up right. I use a piece of, this is going to be the 1/2 inch PVC, so I'm using 1/2 inch copper pipe to cut the hole through. I just kind of file one end to where it's sharp, and then twist, twist, twist. Once that comes through, you can pull that back out. I have found the best tool is a corkscrew to get this back out. So there's a skewer down through there, so I gotta like thread that through the middle, just enough to grab hold of it. And there it goes. Okay, so we got that through. Put it back in. And I get it lined up where I wanted it. I previously put a mark there so I know where to go. Get it there. Give it a little push to get it going. We'll pull that out. I'll finish it off. All right. And then same thing again. So I just use the corkscrew to grab hold of it real quick. Pull it out. All right, so we've got a hole all the way through. Next thing I'm going to do is get the PVC pipe cut to length, so that it goes all the way through into the body, and then it'll come over to here to do its bend. So we'll have a 90-degree bend here that'll have a long stretch to probably 4 or 5 inches, come straight over above this, and then straight in again, basically middle of this raised nose piece, or raised section in the nose. So let's get the let me get the pipe cut, and we'll come back during the bending.
All right, I've got the pipe cut. It's got marks where the bends need to go. Getting the ends heated up, getting it bent. Once it's bent, I'm using alcohol to spray on it to cool it down quicker. I'll flip it over and then get the other end bent. And then once that's done, again, hit that end with some alcohol and get it put on.
Okay, all the tape is off. This is the back. I marked it. See, that was smart of me. There. Look at that, right where I made the mark. Huh. Get our piece of copper pipe. Pipe just like that. Look at that. Perfect. All right, I am going to get this glued on, and then that should be it for the pipes. I think I am finally going to have to finish the nose piece next video. So that'll be the next time. Okay, this is what we got done for this video. I have gotten the pipes added on both sides. That entailed getting these foot peg pipes. There'll be the actual foot rest itself will sit on top of this. It'll have a little pivot that it goes on. Other than that, these were 2 attempts later. We ended up getting wood core up through it and both sides. It's attached now, pretty good and stiff, so I think it'll support my feet. And the rest of the pipes are, we can kind of see, I'll bring it in real close here. We've got this type pipe, which is the one I just added. It's probably a little shorter than the actual. That's this here. And then I did this pipe, which is the one that comes down. That's this one. And then finally, the pipe here that comes down and goes into the body there. Somewhat easier to see on this one. See, there's the one that comes across, has a little down and in. This comes straight out of this U pipe here. It goes over and down and in there. The footrest is coming across. There's another bit of tubing that'll come underneath there that still has to be done, but that's like a final thing. So that's that side. This side, this was the clearest picture I could get of this one. You can see there's a little U right here, and then this back pipe comes from underneath up and over and in, but they both go into these two nubs here. Again, kind of see it in this shot. If I could get light on it, a little bit of that one comes up and over, and there's that. And then, of course, his foot peg coming forward. So I think that was a good bit of progress for the week. So next we'll be moving on to the nose. The front blades have been all put on. They're hinged together. There needs to be control rods that go to hold the lower blades off at their angle. And then there's a nose piece that goes in between the two arms that helps stabilize everything together. But we'll go over that on the next video.